Alright, so today we're doing something a little bit different. We're gonna do a reaction video. We're gonna be watching this video. Now, you might recognize the name Prestige from another video. Mario Kart World is a terrible game, and I'm tired of pretending it's not. This was by far his most viewed, well, second most viewed video ever. So it did really well. So he decided to move his grift onto his second channel. But I guess the views probably weren't that great because, yeah, they didn't go that well. So he moved the grift back to his main channel, and yeah, even then it is not working at all. But as soon as he posts an anti-Switch 2 video, the views come back, as they say. So let's give this a watch. I know this video is going to be bad because, well, this is probably one of the worst videos I have ever seen in my life. He played the game for 2 hours. And he decided that he can have an opinion on the game. And then he made a video about the Virtual Boy and then got 60,000 views. Can't say I'm surprised. Alright, let's give it a watch.
Roughly 1 year ago, I posted a video called The Path of the Switch 2 as a sort of response to the reveal trailer, and basically I was going over my reservations about the console and predicting how things would turn out, and I thought it'd be fun to take a trip down memory lane and see how well the videos aged. Bear in mind that this was months before Mario Kart World's price tag was revealed and before everyone turned on the company, and this video actually got quite—
Everyone turned on the company, alright. I mean, they are expecting downturn, which makes sense because of the RAM shortage, but yeah, just shy of 20 million units. Everyone turned against the company. Don't make me tap the sign.
a bit of pushback actually. So yeah, February 16th, it wasn't revealed yet. So to those of you who have been claiming that I'm just writing a hate—
February 16th, it wasn't revealed yet.
Actually, so yeah, February 16th, it wasn't revealed yet. So to those—
It wasn't revealed yet. No? What have I, oh my god. Okay, well, I thought that would clone the tab. Apparently not. We're gonna not. Okay, well, that was embarrassing. But, switch to reveal. Yeah, first look trailer. I'm pretty sure it was before the 16th.
I posted a video called The Path of the Switch 2 as a sort of—
shut up. 16th of January.
response to the reveal trailer. I'm gonna take a trip down memory lane and see how it turned on the company, and this video actually got quite a bit of pushback actually. So yeah, February 16th, it wasn't revealed yet. So
it wasn't revealed yet. Alright, dude. Alright.
For those of you who have been claiming that I'm just riding a hate train, I'm actually the conductor and everyone else decided to—
Wait, let's start from the top.
So to those of you who have been claiming that I'm just riding a hate train, I'm actually the
riding a hate train? Well, considering your most viewed videos are anti-Nintendo videos, and it got to the point where you moved all of your, like, grift content to a second channel, and it didn't work, so you moved it to your main channel. I'm just saying. You are riding a hate train.
Conductor and everyone else decided to board later. Lastly, before we dive—
You're actually the conductor? Brother, your anti-Mario Kart World video got 68,000 views. I'd hardly call you the conductor. Like, 68,000 views, that's a lot of views. Like, that's more views than, like, anything I've ever made, obviously. But I wouldn't call myself a conductor. Like, there's a reason you made your Mario Kart World video. And it wasn't because everyone else was also getting 60,000 views. You made it because everyone's anti-Nintendo videos were getting hundreds of thousands of views. Millions of views. I mean, look at Nintendine.
Be sure to leave a like and subscribe.
I literally made an entire video making fun of him.
I'm on the way to 6K and your support is greatly appreciated. I also want to apologize in advance for the painfully slow delivery. Nintendo? You're doing it again. But what do I mean by it?
What, making another console?
And how are they doing it again? So Nintendo just unveiled their new console, the Nintendo Switch 2, as a direct successor to their previous console, the Nintendo Switch, which is
hadn't been revealed yet.
The Nintendo Switch 2 as a direct successor to their previous console, the
Right.
Nintendo Switch, which has been one of the best-selling consoles ever released. Now, I have a few thoughts about this that I know Nintendo fans won't be happy about, but it needs to be
People online won't be happy with my opinions.
said. This announcement reminds me of the Wii U reveal. Rewind to the mid to late 2000s where Nintendo was riding the high of the Nintendo Wii, and to say that the Wii took the world by storm would be the understatement of the millennium. Everybody and their grandma had a Wii, and that is by
Bro, I'm not even like, I'm 16, but I still like grew up with the way. Like, I remember that playing like bowling with like my grandma. It was like the best thing ever. Oh, I remember Island Flyover. Oh, that was so cool.
no means an exaggeration. The Wii was a centerpiece for many a living room, daycare, dentist's office, and even retirement homes. You couldn't escape it. It was madness. This period of success, however, led to Nintendo getting rather comfortable, or should I say complacent, resting on their laurels, confident that they could just keep printing money.
I don't think the problem with Wii U was that Nintendo got confident. It's just they thought of the problem with the Wii U is that they thought of a gimmick, but they couldn't really come up with any. Like, the thing with the Wii U is that they showed off loads of uses for this gamepad, but none of it wasn't very focused. It was like, look all this thing it could do. There wasn't this one thing that it was really into. Like, the Wii remote, like, that was all about motion control. But the Wii U seconds and like the motion control, that's like a whole new dimension of controlling games. But the gamepad, they couldn't really find that one thing that proves the use of the Wii U gamepad, and it just made the Wii U really expensive, and it also just like didn't get like that many games. Like, game releases were quite slow, so yeah, I think that's why the Wii U struggled. I don't think they got complacent. I wouldn't call adding a second screen to a console complacent. I would say that what they're doing with the Switch 2 is far more complacent and confident that they could just, quote, keep printing money forever. I would say that's more of a Nintendo now, because they haven't really changed that much for the Switch 2. I mean, the Switch Ori is like a perfect formula for a console, so what the Switch 2 does is already just fine.
Forever. In their confidence, they decided to name the direct successor to the Wii U, thinking the brand would capture the same audience once again. And we all know what happened from there. Or at least, some of us do. No one bought the thing. Fast forward to 2025 and Nintendo was once again riding the high of a successful console. And they've decided once again to name its successor directly after the previous console. Enter the
Yeah, that would make sense, but the thing with the
Nintendo Switch 2.
Is he gonna say that the name Nintendo Switch 2 is bad? Because if you want to say the name Nintendo Switch 2 is bad, you also have to say that every PlayStation console ever is badly named. Like, the Wii U is like a bad name, because there were so many like Wii accessories and products that were named Wii something. So calling something the Wii U, to a lot of people, it just sounds like an accessory to the Wii. but the name Nintendo Switch 2 doesn't generate that kind of confusion. Everyone knows the difference between a PS4 and a PS5. Everyone knows that the PS5 is the next gen PS4. So I don't see. I mean, I don't know if this guy actually criticizes the Switch 2's name, but I feel like this is where it's gonna go.
But along with a similar naming scheme, there are other parallels that I've noticed which are leading me to believe that the Switch 2 may be headed down a similar path to the Wii U.
Well, it wasn't, because it's already passed the Wii U's sales in, what, like 6 years? Compared to the, compared to Wii U's like 13 million, which took like 6 years, and the Switch 2 outsold that in less than one.
So far so good. It's just funny how I was already addressing the Nintendo fans because I knew how they react to this video, but that was actually one of the most—
Why do you need to address them? Like, what are they gonna do? If the Nintendo fans are being, like, annoying in your comment section, just ban them.
Controversial things about this
ban them and move on.
That people thought I had an issue with the naming convention being the Switch 2, so that people would misconstrue it as an accessory for the Switch 1, but I actually never said
that's the Wii U.
that. In fact, I addressed it directly by saying that it was a result of Nintendo resting on their laurels and trying to sell via brand recognition. But a huge issue people had with this video is that they were under the impression that I viewed the Switch 2's name as a cause rather than a symptom, which I never actually thought that. Their logic was—
What? Okay. That's, like, fine. If you think the Switch 2 name is boring, that's fine. Like, it kind of is. But, like, if you think that the Switch 2 name is a symptom of, I guess, Nintendo or any other company resting on their laurels, look at PlayStation. They've just been going up by like one number since the start.
The Switch 2 won't sell well because people are going to confuse it for the Switch 1. My logic is Nintendo got a successful console, so they're just going to rely on brand recognition instead. That's the point I was making there.
What's wrong with that? Because, like, I'm reading this as, like, how I'm taking it in is that he's trying to, like, criticize Nintendo here. And I just don't see how this is, like, anything against them.
The game they showed off during the reveal looks like a game that was already on the previous console with seemingly few visual upgrades or changes.
What? Okay, now granted, they didn't show much of a... Like, showing off Mario U on the Wii U was like a genuinely bad like first game reveal because it looks the exact same. But are we really comparing Mario Kart World and Mario Kart 8 to Wii U to Mario U and New Super Mario Bros. Wii? Are we really comparing those two? I mean, I'm not surprised that this guy's doing it because this is the same guy that said that Nintendo, like, he said that Mario Kart World has less content than Base 8, which is an absolutely mental statement. The only thing from 8 that is comparable to Mario Kart World, like, we can have a debate, like, 100%. Like, there is a debate to be had whether Mario Kart World or 8 Deluxe Plus Booster Course Pass has more content. That's a debate. It's not even close between Base 8 and Mario Kart World. It's nowhere close. Like, okay, like, this reveal, like, it didn't show off too much, but it teased the open world, it teased the first track, and it teased the intermissions, and also the new Donkey Kong design.
Looks like a game that was already on the previous console with seemingly few...
Alright, if you want to say that Mario Kart World looks like the game on the previous console, try running it on the Switch 1.
Visual upgrades or changes. And if you're about to type a comment saying that I missed how the characters now have squash and stretch and that Donkey Kong has been redesigned and that tires are now a red shell brand, then you're missing the point. Those are things that only the most keen-eyed of fans would even notice. And to this day, when I look at Mario Kart World, I still don't see that huge
You don't look at Mario Kart World, you only played it for 2 hours. Like, Mario Kart World is such a huge graphical upgrade over 8. Now, obviously, you might not see that, but the thing with 8 is that it goes for like this realistic art style, which I think in a lot of areas does work. But I just love the cartoonish art style that Mario Kart World goes for. But the problem is, for this guy, is that he is not going to be able to tell as much of like a technical graphical upgrade over Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is like fair because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe goes for realism, Mario Kart World does not. But that doesn't mean that Mario Kart World's graphics are bad, it just means it goes for a different art style. I would say if you actually look at Mario Kart World, which this guy hasn't by the way, he only played the game for 2 hours, you will find that Mario Kart World looks far better than 8 Deluxe. Like, honestly.
Bump that everyone's talking about. And while the resolution of the worlds in Mario Kart World are higher, the amount of detail placed into them is lower. So while Mario...
No, the hell it isn't. That's just wrong. You played the game for 2 hours, so that's what you believe because you didn't play the game.
World is more graphically intensive. I'd say that Mario Kart 8 is the more graphically impressive game.
That's because it's more realistic, but that's not what Mario Kart World goes for. Like, this is the type of guy. I feel like this is the type of guy that would say Minecraft is an ugly game.
If that makes sense. When a new console is revealed, the general public is often looking for one of two things: a fun and interesting way to play games, often taking the form of a new controller, peripheral, or gameplay mechanics, and/or jaw-dropping art direction and appealing new visual styles, which may but not always include...
Yeah, and the Switch 2 does both of that. The graphics are far better, and it offers... And I think the refinements it made to the formula of, like, the Switch console are huge. Like, I love the big screen on the Switch 2. I love the new Joy-Cons. Even now, like, it's almost been, like, a year, and I'm still, like, messing with the magnets. Like, I'm always getting my Switch and, like, doing this. Like, just slapping the Joy-Con. It's so satisfying. Like, honestly, the upgrades that have been made here, absolutely incredible. I love my Switch too. Like, even just as, like, a piece of hardware, it's just incredible.
Realism. I'm not a graphics snob whatsoever, but a sequel like this needs to have a stronger visual identity, and this is not that.
You're just wrong. Mario Kart World looks really good.
Even if this is an early build of the game, developers are still able to cherry pick certain parts of the game in order to create a vertical slice, which is meant to show the game in the best light possible. I understand that this was just a teaser and they didn't want to show their hand too soon, but what little we have seen is still unimpressive after an 11-year gap between releases from a visual, technical, and gameplay standpoint. And now that the game is out, I stand by absolutely everything.
Really? Because you shouldn't. Let's go back.
Still unimpressive after an 11-year gap between releases from a visual, technical, and game...
A visual, technical, and gameplay perspective. I honestly, I don't think I could ever go back to Mario Kart 8 because Mario Kart World is such an upgrade in every way possible. But this guy only played the game for 2 hours. He probably didn't even know what a charge jump is. So he can't say anything. He hasn't done any of the new parkour mechanics. Like, even the multi-trick, like, even be able to trick, like, multiple times in the air. Just, like, those small changes just help boost Mario Kart World's gameplay up to an entirely new level. There is no way in hell you can tell me with a straight face that Mario Kart World is not an impressive upgrade from 8 in every way imaginable.
Standpoint. And now that the game is out, I stand by absolutely everything I said.
Alright, are you gonna back it up?
To the Mario...
No? Because you only played the game for 2 hours? Oh, crazy.
Odyssey teaser that was in the Switch reveal. It depicted Mario doing a triple jump through a Mexico-inspired city. In just 7 seconds, they were able to convey a visually distinct and technically impressive, at least by Mario standards, game that displayed the long-awaited return of the triple jump to a 3D Mario game. Even though both of these teasers are only a few seconds long, the Mario Odyssey teaser used that time far more effectively than showing what appears to be a few seconds.
I feel like they did like similar things. Like they showed off, like we got a small snippet of the new Mario Kart. We saw like the open world. We saw the 24 player races. Like we saw the intermissions. Like we saw like these reveals like are pretty similar.
Gameplay that resembles a Switch port of a 2014 Wii U game. Further parallels
No,
more physical.
it's just wrong.
Mario Odyssey as an example of how to sell a new console, not because I like the game, but specifically because I don't like the game. And
You don't like Mario Odyssey? You kick dogs.
Fooled me into buying it. Further parallels include a push for more.
Fooled you into buy. Mario Odyssey is one of the best 3D Mario games ever created. Like, literally everyone agrees. You're just saying you don't like the game for views.
Merchandise like the alarm clock, a few more ports from previous consoles. They also released a music app. And to nobody's surprise, here come the DMCA takedowns. All that's left now is the partnership program, and the mid-2010s Nintendo playbook will be complete. Granted. And I didn't know just how bad the port.
Okay, the partnership program. You can give as much. You can attack Nintendo as much as you want for the partnership program. I'll be right there with you. That was awful.
I get that Mario Galaxy 1+2 package was still an absolute insult, and they're still doing this garbage.
Yeah, that costed way too much. But like the thing is with game prices, I just don't care. Like in the UK. Like, in terms of game prices, we have it pretty good. In terms of hardware prices, we have it the worst. PC prices are so expensive here. But, like, we kind of make up for it with game prices. Like, we have CX. Like, there's so many. It's so easy to get a hold of second-hand games here. Like, CX is a thing. One of the best stores ever created.
With that talking flower toy. And also the overpriced...
Don't insult the talking flower!
Amiibo. And I almost...
Okay, the Amiibo is like grossly overpriced. I mean, I don't really care because it's Amiibo, I don't care. The only Amiibo I will ever buy is the Donkey Kong plus Pauline Amiibo, but I got that because I had a few thousand yen left, and it was like my second last day of being in Japan, and I didn't think I'd get another opportunity to buy it. So, yeah, that's why I have that.
Forgot about the Power World lawsuits, which is basically the final boss of DMCA takedowns, except it's even more legally dubious, and I'm so glad they're losing that case.
I'm right there with you. Like the thing is, like with these anti-Nintendo YouTubers, I'm like right with them on like all of these things. Like, yeah, get them. Part of the program sucked. Power's lawsuit, that also sucked too. And then they say something like, Mario Kart World isn't an upgrade over Mario Kart 8, and you've lost me. You've just lost me.
They've made much more money from the Switch than previous console generations, and with the prevalence of social media, I'd argue that they're even more relevant now than they were during the Wii era. But such relevance might spell bad news, because Nintendo has become just as famous as it has infamous in this past generation.
Nintendo's always been like infamous for its copyright stuff.
It's been easy for Nintendo to ignore all the generation. Your shoddy craftsmanship. It may have been easy for Nintendo to ignore.
You know what? That was an attempt at being funny, and I think that's the only time I'll ever do it. And it still wasn't even that funny, because you have to scroll back in the video to do it.
Ignore all the bad press after their console had pushed millions of units, but you obviously can't do that twice in a row. From the beginning of the Switch's life, Nintendo has been gleefully plugging their ears and even outright denying accusations of faulty hardware, and that's just the beginning of their grievances. The previously mentioned DMCA takedown.
Honestly, like, if you want to say that the Switch 2 has Joy-Con drift, actually, how about, like, because I've been using the same pair of Joy-Cons like for well, since I got the console. I got really close to launch, and my Joy-Cons they don't drift at all. I've had no problems with them. Yeah, they are far more reliable than the Switch 1 Joy-Cons.
Fan game takedowns, a classic game library that releases games with the speed of erosion, bland menus, and outright embarrassing.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I agree with you on all of this. I mean, I actually like the Switch 2 menu because it just gets you right into the games. Like you turn on your Switch and there you are, like video games, just there. Like your most recent games, just there. I think the Switch 2 and the Switch, they both do a really good job of just getting you into the games straight away. No advertising. Well, there kind of is like the news section, but it doesn't get in the way. It's not like Steam where you have to like close the advertising yourself and then click on the library tab. Like, no, as soon as you press A, you're in there and you're in your game. And if you want, you can mess around with the controls and stuff. I really like the Switch 2 menu.
eShop, unacceptable online.
Okay, the eShop isn't great. It's much better on the Switch 2. I haven't seen too much like anime 80 like porn slop yet. But I think what does help it is that this eShop is also much faster, but this guy wouldn't know because he only played Mario Kart World for 2 hours.
Services that were given a price after the point of sale, by the way. The most.
Yeah, I don't like having them pay for online because on PC it's free. But I mean, Nintendo weren't the first to do it. They just saw that Microsoft got away with it with the 360. What else did he say?
A classic game library that releases games with the speed of erosion, bland menus, and outright embarrassing eShop, unacceptable online services that were given a price.
I mean, yeah, you know what? With the Switch 2 generation, I really hope that like this is the generation that they actually get good with online. Like, it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. Like, I like a more offline game, but yeah, their online servers just aren't. They need a lock-in with the online, honestly.
After the point of sale, by the way. The most offensive thing to me, however, has been releasing half-baked or feature-starved games like ARMS, Mario Tennis Aces, Super Mario Party, Mario Golf, Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Animal Crossing New Horizons? Content starved? That game took the world by storm. Isn't that like the third best-selling Switch game? Like, you were like 4 for 4 or like 5 for 5 till you mentioned Animal Crossing New Horizons. I mean, I never played it, but apparently it was like, I'm pretty sure it's quite content filled.
Nintendo Switch Sports, Mario.
Alright, Switch Sports, yeah.
Strikers Battle League. Oh, it just.
And he flashed Mario Odyssey on screen for Rage Bait. Mario Odyssey has like the most content out of any 3D Mario game ever. You could spend hundreds of hours in that game. It's just you kick dogs for fun.
Oh, there it is. And my dislike for Mario Odyssey isn't even a new thing. Some people might think this, oh, it's just grift. No, I actually don't like the game. Let's see here. And I actually just put.
Can you explain why you don't like the game?
Note down here. Let's see. Tell me with a straight face that Cloud Kingdom and especially Ruin Kingdom weren't extremely disappointing. Super Mario.
You know what? I'll agree with you on that. But what about Luncheon Kingdom? Literally designing an entire huge area around food? Like, that's such a cool idea. Going to the moon was really cool. Bowser's Kingdom was really cool. Like, everything other than those two kingdoms, I think was done perfectly. Like, maybe the Moon Kingdom, the Moon Kingdom wasn't that great. But I think other than those three, I think they hit it out of the park.
64 doesn't even include the Koopa Road levels as part of the main 15 courses, despite each containing red coin stars. Just the fact that they padded out the level list by labeling them as Kingdom rather than arenas is a telltale sign of a rust development.
What do you mean? The Mario, every level in Mario Odyssey is far larger than, even the tiny kingdoms are far larger than most Mario 64 levels. Like, maybe I'm being unfair because, like, I played, like, a bit of Mario 64, and I just couldn't really get into it that much. I just didn't like the controls that much. But, like, I've played a decent amount of the game. I played the good bit. I played the good bits of Mario 64, and decided that I'm gonna leave there. But Mario Odyssey, like, its levels are massive compared to 64's.
Yeesh. Okay, wow.
And they are packed with things to do.
I still hated that game back then. Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed about that game. I still hate it.
Why? Can you explain?
Okay, that's just so funny though.
Also, they do deserve. What arena is the size of the Mushroom Kingdom?
And just all of Pokemon, on Switch.
And also, oh, okay. Okay, I get what he means by this now. Cloud Kingdom, Maroon Kingdom, I guess they are arenas. But, I mean, Cloud Kingdom in Mario Odyssey is literally called Nimbus Arena.
Okay, that's just so funny though. And just all of Pokemon on Switch. Except, and then we have
The trees! That's this guy's entire argument.
like we have ZA now, and it's just like not even any better. That's crazy.
Have you played it? I haven't. Which is why I haven't given a judgment on the game. You're giving a judgment on the game, even though I guarantee you haven't played it.
Maybe Legends Arceus, which should have been a launch title, with Scarlet and Violet following up on that game's formula a few years later. This approach may have also remedied the game's weakness to flying types, but that's a discussion for another day. Let's see. And I remember this point too. This is despite the fact that I absolutely love broken, buggy, and ambitious games with good soundtracks as long as they're fun. But it'd be wrong for me to undermine the disappointment of others. The point is that a game that I enjoy is not the same thing as a good game, and
I think, well, I agree with this. Like, I'm like this with Sonic 06. But I think the entire point of playing a video game is to enjoy it at the end of the day. And a game that you enjoy, and therefore a game that you enjoy, is a good game.
still stand by that as well. Yeah, no, Scarlet and Violet was absolutely a broken, buggy mess, but I mean, it was a fun, broken, buggy mess. But I like broken games. I think they're funny. Like, if it's like,
I agree.
I don't want games to be made broken on purpose, but like, there's fun to be had.
Obviously.
But like, that's still not acceptable for them to be releasing games like that. Not with as much money as they have. That's not acceptable. And for me, Splatoon 3 was the last straw.
Yeah, they should have given them more time.
Stare at the wall and watch paint dry, which is something you can rarely do in Splatoon 3 because barely any of the walls are paintable. All jokes aside, though, this has made me way more cautious about my
After his own joke.
purchases than I've ever been in my entire life. To circle back to the complacency.
Shovelware City? You want to talk about shovelware? Look at the Wii.
One of the biggest issues the Wii faced was the mountains of shovelware that was being released for the system. Rushed, low-quality titles that were only made to capitalize on unknowing customers to make a quick buck. We see this happening again today with the Switch's eShop, which is not only slow to navigate due to long loading times and a cluttered appearance, exacerbated by the boring interface with no music or theming, and they still have...
I mean, do you want music in an eShop that's already barely holding itself together? Is that really what you want? Probably not. I mean, in the Switch 2 eShop, they have less of an excuse. Actually, no, they have more of an excuse in the Switch 2 eShop. And it's that, like when you hover over games, like the trailer for that game, like, starts playing. So they won't want music in the background because it would get, like, uninterrupted, it'd be a bit too much.
Haven't fixed this, by the way. But it's also packed to the brim with low-quality titles that can only be classified as games through the most generous of technicalities, with far too many. Oh no!
Okay, this one's bad.
Many of them only being there to swindle you out of your money. With all this in mind,
And what's Nintendo supposed to do about them? Like, I mean, I guess have, like, a manual review process like every game, but, like, I mean,
where an online
Hello, hello. Alright, I'm back. My phone decided to randomly cut out. I'm using audio relay. So, yeah, that was
experience
great.
is top notch for the next console, I don't think it's much of a stretch to say that Nintendo may experience another Wii U era. Do I want this? No. Well, kinda. So, I actually did want to point something out. The eShop is just as bad, if not worse, than it was when this video was posted because there's
Really? It's gotten, like, at least on the Switch 2, it's gotten much faster.
so much more AI garbage on there now. It's like, it's even worse now. In fact, I think Rerez made a video about the eShop being full of absolute garbage. And so it wasn't just me saying that. I made a video last year as well talking about how...
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo should probably do something about the AI stuff. And I do think... I think they have a decent chance of doing it. Like, I'm pretty sure they did take, like, a pretty big, like, stance against AI stuff. So, maybe they will take action against it. They probably won't because Nintendo doesn't know what an internet connection is, apparently. But, yeah, I mean, it does suck how much stuff is on the eShop. But I would say, as long as you, like, stick to the highlight section, you should be fine.
the eShop has, like, inappropriate games in it and stuff. And so, like, that's a
But yeah, I do agree. Nintendo should have a better moderation for what goes on their store.
problem that still hasn't been resolved yet. So yeah, that point's aged really well too. Do I want this? No. Well, kinda. Nintendo needs to take a step back and truly address the issues with the Nintendo Switch in order for the Switch 2 to be successful. But here's the...
And they did like fix, and they fixed every issue with the Switch as far as I'm concerned. Like, the Joy-Cons are far better, the screen is miles better. I love how big it is. It's far more powerful. Like, they fixed everything.
Nintendo is a big business. Derogatory. Given their current success, they have no incentive to do what I just suggested from a big business perspective. Big business perspective meaning short-sighted and money-obsessed. Why change your strategy when you've been getting along just fine? What did I say? Perspective meaning short-sighted and money-obsessed. Let's see. Big business, derogatory, informal, large-scale, self-important financial or commercial activity led by industry professionals who sacrifice goodwill and talented staff for the sake of personal gain. Example.
Sacrifice goodwill and talented staff. Nintendo lays off less employees than any other company, like, in the world. And that's not even, like, a Japan thing. Like, they're America, like, and, like, their employees everywhere. They never lay people off.
The AAA gaming industry is a big business, but AA games made by talented staff are leagues better. It's like comparing McDonald's to local restaurants. Look up Platonic Games. They create incredible games at affordable prices. North American, a person who tries to evade paying their taxes.
You know, that's funny. That's funny.
I think that a lot of my other, like, pictures, like, examples and stuff, I think a lot of those too also had stuff like that. Cause I love putting, like, blink and you'll miss it stuff into my videos, by the way. Like, if you're watching them, I do this kind of stuff all the time, but, like, I don't think people notice it. But yeah, no, if you see something like this that might come up, there's a good chance it's probably been, like, I like when it's actual quotes that I'm giving my opinions on. I did this before. Like, I put an actual quote up there if it's like an actual quote. But like if it's something like this,
He's
whatever,
yapping.
I'll probably like a blink and miss thing up there. Anyway, obsessed. Why change your strategy when you've been getting along just fine, plugging your ears and looking the other way? Why change your strategy?
I don't want them to change their strategy. I really like the Switch as was. So, and I think like what they do with the Switch 2, I don't see why they do anything else. I really like the idea of the
Even made you
Switch.
billions of dollars. And now that you've got your billions, the obvious next step is to double down and make a trillion. But mind you, this strategy has been horrible for customers who will likely never buy another Nintendo console again, or at the very least, hesitate before purchasing the next one. Unfortunately, the only way to get a big
Why?
business to change course is if their hand is forced, either through legal action or financial loss. Oh, hello Wii U. I was about to say, where are we gonna
I
get
mean,
to the
yeah, they changed their calls with the Wii U because well, the console was bad.
Wii U part? Yeah, okay, let's just go. Despite Nintendo's financial losses during the Wii U era, dare say because of their financial losses, it was a great time for consumers. You know how Nintendo is infamous for never discounting their games below $60? I released
Yeah, I wish they discount their games more often. It's really annoying. I mean, in the UK again, we have CEX, so I guess as like a whole, at least my country isn't very reliant on game publishers lowering their own prices. So yeah, we got second-hand market. Just wait a few months and you'll see a copy in CX for like 10 quid cheaper.
3 years before Fortnite. It's still $60, by the way. There could have been 4 other titles between 2014 and 2026. But yeah, no, thankfully, at least in the US, they've decided to, because I know in the UK there's always been like a digital like discount, but in the US though, apparently it's always been more for digital, which is
Oh my god, this guy's dumb. This guy's so dumb. Oh my god, this guy's so dumb. Look, okay. Still 50, yeah. I'm for digital and physical. A498. But wait, shouldn't the digital version be cheaper? It's not cheaper because it comes with the booster course pass. Are you blind?
interesting. So yeah, they're finally charging different prices for digital versus physical, which is really nice. Eligible for up to 300 gold points. So this kind of crypto, and that's another thing. They actually got rid of the gold program too, like Nintendo.
I don't care. It's like completely pointless. It barely did anything. I think. Yeah, it did nothing. I don't think anyone cared.
Oh, I forgot. I never used the program actually because I got all my games secondhand. But like the Nintendo Gold program, they got rid of.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you want to avoid bad game prices, get all your games secondhand. And that means you get them physically as well, which means you have to wait around for downloads or worry about storage space.
So like that is
which you do have to do on the Switch too. I mean, 256 gigabytes. I'm still unsure if that's enough or not. I mean, I am going to need the microSD Express card at some point. I just hope that by the time I do need one, the price has gone down and I can get like a terabyte one for like pretty cheap.
Well, that
hopefully.
So poorly. You know how Nintendo is infamous for never discounting their games below $60? At one point during the Wii U era, if you bought Mario Kart 8, you could register your copy on Club Nintendo. Once registered, you were able to claim another game for free. So what free game are we talking about? Pause the video and type your prediction for what free game you'd get for registering Mario Kart 8. Well, you heard him. Pause the video. Comment down below which game do you get with Mario Kart 8.
You paused it for me.
All done? If you guessed Nintendo Land, then you'd be correct. I mean, it was pretty obvious. That game should have just been included with every console. But
like Nintendo was kind of like forced to be like nicer because like they still had like their mega fans with the Wii U, so they had to make sure they kept them loyal, so like they didn't go bankrupt.
The only game you could have gotten, because you actually had a choice of one of 10 games, including Nintendo Land. You could choose from New Super Mario Bros. U, Game & Wario, Pikmin 3, Wind Waker HD, Sonic Lost World, Mario and Sonic at the Winter 2014 Olympic Games, Wii Party U, The Wonderful 101, and Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Americans only got these 4. But despite that, no matter which game you chose, every single one of these titles were amazing at best and a great time at worst, with maybe 2 exceptions. Coupled with the fact that Mario Kart 8 shipped with some Wii U consoles, you effectively got 2
But like
games
they kind of have to be like nice.
Modern day Nintendo would never do this. My ideal outcome would be
unless the console starts selling badly.
Switch level sales. Let me explain. First off, it's a known fact
That's
that
just
Reggie
not
had to
possible,
practically
though.
fight
That's just not
Miyamoto
gonna
and
happen.
Iwata to include Wii Sports as a pack-in title for the Wii, which is evident by the fact that only the
Alright, you want to glaze Reggie. You mentioned the partner program earlier. Which CEO was that under? Oh yeah, it was Reggie and Iwata. Oh yeah. It's almost like Nintendo has always been an awful company. Like every company in the entire world.
Deluxe Black version of the Wii U came with Nintendo Land, and the Switch didn't come with any game at all. I know it's not sustainable for them to just constantly Nintendo Land, and the Switch didn't come with any game. Releasing consoles without pack-in titles is so counterproductive. It might save the company some money, but by doing so, you forgo a technical showcase for your console.
I feel like most people, like, they did have, like, bundles available, like, with their, like, consoles. Like, when I got my Switch, I got mine with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I think that's what most people got their Switch with. Like, that was kind of always, like, the main pack-in that was, like, on offer. Like, I mean, I don't mind it. Like, if, like, it's a cheaper, like, option if you just, like, want to Switch. I guess, like, it is a bit weird, like, not having a pack-in game, but I mean, most people just buy it with like the pack-in anyway.
Never establish your brand's quality and risk your customers only buying low-quality games, which may turn them off from the console entirely. And I mean, Welcome Tour wasn't even a pack-in title, but even that exposed the console's limits. So maybe it's good that Welcome Tour wasn't a pack-in title.
What do you mean that exposed the console's limits? Like, making people pay for Welcome Tour was really strange, and it should have been a pack-in, but it wasn't.
At all. I know it's not sustainable for them to just constantly give games away like the early adopter reward, but Nintendo definitely needs to win back some of the goodwill lost during this generation, because there's been a nasty storm brewing over the past decade that could have devastating effects on the company. Free-to-play games are far more mainstream now than they were when the Switch released.
I do not want Nintendo going down the free-to-play route. Like, honestly, I hate, like, the online like phone game model. Like, there's just so many ads, so many microtransactions. I am more than happy to pay for a game that shuts up and lets you play it.
Because
That's
these
what I
games
want.
are bound by console generations, games like Fortnite, Rocket League, and Fall Guys are all technically going to be Nintendo Switch 2 launch titles if Nintendo puts them on the eShop on day one. If Nintendo's launch lineup is lacking any key titles like a new 3D Mario game or Mario Kart entry, then you'd better believe that there's some companies out there ready to prey on new Switch 2 owners that are desperate for a new title. Say for instance, a company releases a free-to-play Mario Kart knockoff on the same day that the Switch 2 launches that ends up becoming extremely successful, not only because Mario Kart Switch 2's release is still several months away, but also
It wasn't.
merits. Not only that, but the knockoff includes a shameless predatory monetization systems and progression loops that keeps its players hooked and coming back to it months or even years after Mario Kart Switch 2 was released, with some players even preferring it over Mario Kart. Sure, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is one of the best-selling
Note about kart racers. Oh, what did it say?
Switch games. Games, but a lot of those sales can be attributed over Mario Kart. Sure, Mario.
Problem isn't players preferring other car races to Mario Kart, and I always welcome competition. Obviously, competition is always a good thing. I always encourage competition. I do take issue with any game that. You know what? This is a based. This is a base paragraph. Go on, Prestige.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is one of the best-selling Switch games, but a lot of those sales can be attributed to the fact that it was available only a month after the Switch launched, and competition was pretty sparse. Remember, we haven't had a brand new Mario Kart entry since the term live service was even coined, and the circumstances around the game are similar to that of Concord and Foam Stars. And while I don't see any Mario Kart game performing anywhere close
Yeah,
to its earlier
Concord was
goals,
very
it
funny.
could still underperform because of its free-to-play alternatives. I'm fully aware that this is the absolute worst-case scenario, and I know most of you are scoffing at the idea right now, but so were Nintendo's executives in 2012. Okay, well, there was a lot that just there was a lot back then. So for one thing, I want to talk about this live services. We are in a very, very anti-live service world, so this part
Are
of the
we?
video has
I don't
thankfully
know.
aged poorly. Fall Guys and especially Fortnite have been seeing a huge downturn in player counts, and while I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with
Like,
free-to-play
they're
games,
still
it's the way that they're
doing
structured which
well.
just always makes them so gross. And I won't get into that right now.
I
because
think a lot of the reason for like their decreased players is that they saw like such a massive boom in popularity due to COVID. Like people had to stay in their houses, so obviously they needed a game that they could always come back to. And I guess these games were just like there. So I think that they were always gonna go down. I think they did manage to keep it. Like of course, like COD's been gone for a few years now, but I think, uh, I mean, if there's a new like, I think it's like there's this like new virus that like ends up on the cruise ship. I mean, if that goes anywhere, these games will see a massive boost in popularity again. But I think the reason why they kept their popularity even a couple years past the age of COVID was because like they kept updating. Like they were updating every week, so people kept going back to them to see the regular updates, and then I guess some people have stopped caring.
that before. I just wanted to say that this part of the video has aged poorly to like the whole part about like free to play games. Like this is like they're just like not as big.
But I do hope like I hate the free to play genre. It's just so predatory. Like especially considering like not to be like think of the children, but yeah, sometimes they are yeah, I it's just so predatory usually. Like it's because it's targeted at children as well. Like they don't know what they're doing. It's creating like active gambling addicts. It's really concerning.
Thing anymore. They were absolutely enormous. Like it's crazy how much stuff changed in just 1 year because this was actually before Multiverses shut down and like people were still like kind of
Yeah, I hate how these games like keep shutting down as well. You can never play them again. I really hope Stop Killing Games gets implemented worldwide.
okay with it. People were against free to play, but like with the console and game price hikes and stuff, I think people are just like, we're just done with this now. So thankfully that part did age poorly. Then you'd better believe that there's some companies out there ready to prey on new Switch 2 owners that are desperate for a new title. Say
They weren't desperate for a new title. I'd say within the launch window, which I would say was June to December, we got this is on the Nintendo like first party front. We got Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza. I guess it went on the like a pretty big break for a while, but then around the holidays we got Metroid Prime 4, Kirby Air Riders. Like we got like Pokemon Legends ZA. We got good stuff, I would say.
Thankfully, I'm glad a free-to-play game didn't really take off on the Switch or any console for that matter. But we did have Sonic Racing Crossroads that definitely gave Nintendo a run for their money. But there were a lot of kart racing.
They give Nintendo a run for their money. I don't think so because apparently that game didn't perform all too well. Unfortunately, I really like Sonic Racing Crossworlds, but I don't think it performed that well. But yeah, I don't know.
That released last year. But the fact that it even spoke kart racer competition into existence is hilarious. Also, Sonic Racing Crossworlds is better than Mario Kart World, but I think everyone already knows that. Oh yeah, and I said the same thing.
I'd say they're about the same. Like, I could play more Crossworlds, but maybe I do prefer Crossworlds. I don't know.
Here, the problem isn't players preferring other kart races to Mario Kart, and I always welcome competition within one of my favorite genres. I do, however, take issue with any game that contains predatory monetization being popular because publishers would start chasing the trend, and the game will suffer because of it. So yeah, I still stand by everything I said here. I'm glad to see how much I still resonate with my statements here because it proves that I'm abiding by my principles for those who thought I was just chasing the trend last year. And then we have the second.
You kind of were chasing a trend though. You literally rename like the whole Mario Kart World is a terrible game. I'm tired of pretending it's not. It was a bit of like. That was not the original title. It was something else. I don't remember what it was, but it was something else. He renamed it because the video didn't do as well as he thought it would. So he renamed it something more inflammatory.
Hear about live services. I know live service games are on the decline, but we can't forget all the casualties there have been along the way. Beyond just the gameplay, so many assets like models, textures, sounds, UI elements, music, voice work, and the valuable time of both users and employees are completely wasted when games shut down with no offline play. Sure, they might have gotten paid for doing their job, but I know the artists were passionate about the work. They sink hundreds of hours into a model, sprite sheet, or music piece just for it to be discarded, nay, censored for their publisher because the game didn't replace Fortnite. I use the term censored rather than discarded because it more accurately describes what's been happening. Discarded work can still be recovered, censored work is being actively withheld or destroyed. If I need an environmental designer, I completely overlook hiring anyone who worked on Concord because I have no easily accessible way to see the contributions to the game in action. But it's an objective fact that artists were perfectly capable of proficiently operating 3D modeling software, which is my job requirement. Which yeah, if I ever like commission somebody to make a 3D environment, like if a live service goes down, I can't see what's going on. So far, I'm pretty on board with everything. Mario Kart performing anywhere close to as poorly as those. It could still underperform because of its free-to-play alternatives. I'm fully aware that this is the absolute worst case scenario, and I know most of you are scoffing at the idea right now, but so were Nintendo's executives in 2012. Am I suggesting that Mario Kart go free-to-play? No, please no, never again. However,
I never played Tour. Like, was it good? I don't remember. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I've never played it. And honestly, I don't care for phone games, so I don't think I ever will.
I am suggesting that Nintendo really needs to bring their A game to hype up this new Mario Kart entry and
And they kind of did. I mean, Mario Kart World sold really well.
really show off how the game is a worthy successor to 8 Deluxe, as this game will not only be competing against other games trying to capitalize.
I think it was a worthy successor to 8 Deluxe. I don't know if, I don't think it is a successor to 8 Deluxe. It's a completely new thing.
The Switch 2's launch, but because the console is backwards compatible, it'll also be directly competing with 8 Deluxe. Speaking of which, I really want to know how Nintendo plans to handle 8 Deluxe's servers. Mario Kart's been one of their go-to system sellers since 64. Release the new entry too soon, and you'll have two games from the same series directly competing against each other. Shut down the 8
I
Deluxe.
don't think they're competing with each other. I don't think anyone with a Switch 2 is playing 8 Deluxe right now. I don't think that's happening. And also, I don't think Nintendo would care about competition, considering it's like 8 Deluxe is their own game. They still benefit from people playing 8 Deluxe.
Servers, and you're ripping off Booster Course Pass players even more, as if the graphical downgrades weren't already enough. The real problem is that
There are no graphical downgrades. The game just isn't realistic, in your opinion.
Booster Course Pass was released way too late into the game's life. It should have started in like 2019 and ended in early 2022. And for a game that has a new and improved battle mode as a selling point on the back of the box, you'd think that some new battle courses will be added to the game as DLC instead of just race courses. That would even make the server shutdown sting less.
The new and improved battle mode in 8 Deluxe was about... You done? That was about the original 8, which had barely any battle mode and recycled original
I hope
courses.
that I've been able to make my point clear that this entire situation is an absolute logistical and PR nightmare, and I don't envy their position whatsoever. But I also don't have any sympathy for them.
I really do envy Nintendo's position. If I would make as much money as that, I would be... Oh my god.
Either,
Incredible.
because they should have just gotten a proper Mario Kart game on Switch in the first place. Not only that, but they didn't offer any sort of compensation for base.
I mean, really? Should we have gotten an original? Like, we kind of did get, with the amount of stuff added to 8 and the Booster Goals Pass, we kind of did get an original Mario Kart on Switch. Like, I never owned a Wii U, so in my mind, and for not 150 million people's minds, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a Switch game, because they played it on the Switch.
Mario Kart 8 owners, especially considering how
Why would they need compensation? Like, you buy it, you buy a game on one platform, you don't get it for free on another,
the game had DLC of its own, paid DLC, mind you.
and that came for free with 8. Like, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe cost the same as base 8. And Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came with the DLC. That's pretty good compensation.
The most definitive Mario Kart 8 experience costs, let me see here, base 8 plus 8 DLC plus 8 DX.
You don't need to include base 8 plus 8 DLC. 8 DX includes base 8 and 8 DLC.
Booster Course Pass, $157.
It's actually half that because you're dumb and included base 8 for no reason.
Are you serious? What do you think I am, a Pokemon fan? And I'm never gonna buy the Booster Course Pass because it should
Yeah, but like, you're wrong. You're wrong. Why are you don't... The 8 DLC is included with 8 Deluxe. You're just being
be
dumb.
free for base 8 DLC owners. We've already bought the full game twice, and I can't wait for all the comments telling me I'm
We've already bought the full game twice. That's sure, you bought a Wii U. Like, you can still play base 8 with the DLC. You can still play that. If you want to play, like, if you want to play 8, the original 48 tracks, you can do that on Wii U. You don't have to buy 8 Deluxe.
poor for not buying the DLC, but understand that when we're both matched in the same lobby on Sydney Sprint, the number of lollies I'm bursting is insane. Now, even though I think
That's fair. I mean, I don't know if I should have ever bothered with the Scores Pass because I mostly played online and you can still access those courses through online.
the free-to-play... Oh, that was such a frustrating accent. I forgot that I did that. Oh, no. Okay, so yeah, so actually about that comment. So the funny thing about the Booster Course Pass is that you actually don't have to purchase...
Wait, also, how is this Mario Kart 8 talk relevant to the Switch 2?
the DLC to get access to the tracks online. If you just play online, you can play the Booster Course Pass tracks, so you literally just don't even purchase it. And most of the time you spend with Mario Kart, it's gonna be online anyway. So like, there's
That's a good thing. Like, that's a good thing. Like, I'm never buying the DLC for Sonic Racing Crossworlds because all I do is play online anyways.
buying it. Pretty much everyone else has got suckered into buying DLC that you just get for free if you don't care about playing offline, which a good amount of people don't care about that.
Is that a bad thing? Like yeah, that's your fault.
So that's where that comment came from.
You guys, you shouldn't have bought it. I bought Galaxy 1 2 for like full price. I pre-ordered it. And I regret that, because I have the games on emulator. Don't make fun of me. Please don't make fun of me. But like, I regret buying those, but I don't blame Nintendo for that. I blame myself.
The Mario Kart game is a bad idea. Wait. Now, even though I know a free-to-play Mario Kart game is a terrible idea, I have a solution for a Switch 2 launch title that I think would be quite reasonable. Every Switch 2 should
Mario Kart World?
come with a free-to-play demo preloaded onto the console. This game would be akin to something out of the Wii series, like Wii Sports or Wii Play, but it has a full resort version available for $30. And if they release a deluxe Switch 2 with an alternate color scheme, please Nintendo, this is hideous. It should come with a full version.
So, I really like how clean the Switch 2 looks.
That game is a cartridge. What? I love physical media. The demo version with oh good gracious.
Yeah, but they're gonna have to like change the box if they do it physically.
So two things. I still think the Switch 2 is absolutely hideous. I do not like the way it looks. But
I
also,
love the way the Switch 2 looks. I think it looks really clean. I really like it.
so yeah, no, I actually.
Like the new Joy-Con colors. I know they don't change that much, but when I have to replace my Joy-Cons, which hopefully won't be for like 3 years, I'll probably get those colors.
I still
Unless
like
something else comes
media,
out.
but I don't for new stuff like new games like
I always try buying my games physically where possible, especially because physical games are cheaper. Like they just are. Even with like digital game sales, which do happen more often, second-hand market exists, and yeah, physical games are just so much cheaper. Especially because you have to buy extra storage because you just shove it on the cartridge.
I don't care anymore. Like they're not trying to provide it, so I'm not gonna try to like fight and go out of my way for it. I'll get myself an SD card, put a whole bunch of Nintendo games on it, and just like call it a day. That's the point I'm at. At one point I did care if I got my game on a physical disc or cartridge, but I have all the physical media that I think I'd ever want, so I could take it or leave it with the physical media, honestly. The demo version would mainly act as a technical showcase, but it would also give players something to do with their new, supposedly high-tech controllers, aside from immediately downloading Fortnite. I remember when the 3DS first released, and in order to even see the 3D feature in action, I had to go to the eShop and watch trailers for games. Street Pass was virtually non-functional because nobody had a 3DS yet. Then both the AR games and Face Raiders required you to use a 3DS camera to play.
Yeah, that's why Switch 2 launched with Mario Kart World, so you had something to do. The 3DS didn't have like any launch titles that were of note.
Handheld system, meant to be played on the go. Still so stupid. Perfect for those occasions where you want to look either insane or creepy in public. Take your pick. Or don't actually. Wait, where was I? Oh yeah, a packing title like this would help Nintendo maintain their current fans, bring back hesitant customers, as well as create new ones.
It would be nice if they included a packing with the Switch 2, but I mean you save like I mean in America, like I'm talking in US dollars here, you save like $30 if you buy Mario Kart World with the Switch 2. And also the thing with the Switch 2 is that most people buying it, at least right now, already have the Switch 1. So you can just transfer everything from your old console to your new one, and you already are like benefiting from the Switch 2 because of all the upgrades that Switch 2 brings.
But with their current path, I see them refusing to acknowledge their problems and winding up back in the same place they were in 20.
Or if you don't have if you
already don't have a Switch 1, you can still buy a Switch 2 perfectly fine, and you still have plenty to play.
13. But if that's what it takes for them to treat their customers better, then I'm sad to say that's the outcome I prefer. Hopefully this video ages both well and poorly, with the positives aging well and the negatives aging poorly. But what are your thoughts? Do you think that we're in for another Wii U era? Do you think that the Mario Kart teaser should have been more visually distinct? What do you think Nintendo should
Maybe. I mean, I was kind of underwhelmed by the Mario Kart teaser. I actually thought that the game wouldn't come out for like a few years, because I just couldn't believe they would do an open world. I thought they would do something like I don't know what they would do. I thought they'd just like do more 8, and like I just thought that was like, guys, we need something Mario Kart to show off quickly, do something.
Let me know in the comments down below, and be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe to see the next post as soon as it goes live. Also, copy your comment and paste it under Nintendo's comment section, and be sure to upvote other people's comments so that we can have themed menus and finished games this time.
I mean, we did get mostly finished games. It's only the Mario Sports games that weren't finished. I mean, they weren't finished a lot of free updates at least. But yeah, I like how some games aren't finished, but like compared to like every other game published, Nintendo is by far the best when it comes to finishing the games.
All right, take care. Even back here, I'm giving the fans a call to action to go comment your suggestions, what you want to see directly.
Yeah, Nintendo ain't listening.
Nintendo's
No,
videos, listen.
no, they won't. They won't.
I haven't really gotten to the point where I was saying vote with your wallet yet, and I like this comment here. Hopefully this video ages both well and poorly, with the positives aging well and the negatives aging poorly. And yeah, I like that I put that caveat in there because I actually did want parts of this video to age poorly, but there's actually another little section at the end here I wanted to let play out real quick. Did you really think I was just gonna sit here and dunk on a game's graphics without offering constructive feedback? You must be new here, and if so, welcome. And thanks for sticking around. I appreciate it. I wanted to touch on my point about offering a fresh visual style. If you're wondering how Nintendo
Mario Kart World looks completely different from Mario Kart 8.
possibly top Mario Kart 8, then it's my pleasure to present to you Mario Kart Arcade GP DX. This game is absolutely gorgeous, and this is the drastic change in art direction that players are looking for in a new Mario Kart game. It's a perfect illustration of how realism and fidelity aren't the only way to show off a new console's graphics. This game's frantic pace and surreal visuals are stark contrast to Mario Kart 8's more controlled and grounded direction.
Yeah, the game looks nice. I mean, it's a shame you showed the game in 144p. Like, I'm watching in 1080p here, yet it looks incredibly blurry, so I can't really tell.
Putting these games
Some video, get some high quality footage.
Sonic 1 when compared to Sonic Mania. Both games have a comparable graphical fidelity, but these two are just so ridiculously saturated, and the characters and backgrounds are just so much more dynamic that your eyes are glued to the screen. But even though I like how insane this game looks, I understand why they might tone it down for a home console release. And actually, yeah, the arcade games are some of my favorite Mario Kart games visually. I definitely prefer them over Mario Kart 8 and World, just in terms of visuals. They still look like Mario games instead of just having HD graphics that are slightly stylized.
Mario Kart World is not HD graphics, are just slightly stylized. Like, the game goes. I really like the cartoonish art style that goes well.
What direction they've gone to modern Mario Kart? Because this is definitely overstimulating for some people. Here's another approach I thought of. Yeah,
That's also one of my problems with it. This is like a bit irrelevant, but it's also one of my problems with Sonic Racing Crossworld. That sometimes like it can be a bit overstimulating. Like, I just like can't tell what's like happening sometimes. That's like one of my problems with the game. And I wish there was an option to like kind of tone it down a bit.
This is definitely overstimulating for some.
Yeah, that's a bit much. There's way too much going on the screen.
They might tone it down for a home. Look at how much stuff is going on here. You have this giant portrait of two portraits of Mario. First of all,
It doesn't help. I don't know what the hell it's saying, so I can't. I can't like figure out like what is that there for? Like, what's this there for?
Then we have like this giant text here who says who knows what. You have this under here that's like saying who hit you or whatever. Your lap count items, that's fine. You have all the placements right here. Then you have the people who are like behind you down here in the arrow, and then you have a smoke screen on the whole thing. And then for some reason there's like a giant arrow coming in that's like swooshing in. Like there's just too much going on here. I think the overstimulation is kind of fun actually, but yeah, no, this is just way too much like all the time, especially in 4-player split screen. This will be insane. Console release because this is definitely overstimulating for some people. And another approach down for home console release because this is definitely. And then they have the boost. They have the boost meter here for no reason. There's sweat droplets, like even more stuff got on the screen somehow. How do they manage to put even more on here? This is hilarious. I love it. Overstimulating for some people. Here's another approach I thought of. Since this game's releasing after Wonder, why not put a pair of eyes on some plants with the sun as a subtle nod to that game, but also as a nod to Double Dash, the Mario Kart entry with the strongest visual identity by far. You can take a single glance at any track from Double Dash, and you know it's Double Dash. I think Double Dash is my favorite Mario Kart, and it's actually for this reason. You can just look at a track and it's like, oh, that was Double Dash. Like, it's very, very obvious. But there's literally eyes on
You can tell World as well. Like, World looks completely different from any of Mario Kart.
everything. The only thing that doesn't have eyes in this image is the literal sky. And yeah, like I appreciate them taking that. I appreciate them making it look that distinct, but they never really tried doing that again. Track from Double Dash, and you know it's Double Dash. And while you're at it, how about some Mario Odyssey representation? Steam Station, Valbono Valley, Ruined Raceway. Come on, this stuff writes itself. The GameCube era was.
Yeah, that would be cool. I do like original environments, but I do think it would have been cool if. I mean, I don't know how they would do it for Mario Kart World, like having all of these different like race courses based off of like old environments. I think that'd be like really cool, but I think that would have to be in like something more like 8 Deluxe.
Full of Sunshine references, and both the Wii and Wii U era were also full of Galaxy references. Oh, who am I kidding? Nintendo hates Odyssey. They barely referenced that game since 2021. All New Dog City got was a golf course and a single Captain Toad level. I almost forgot about the Smash Ultimate stage. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yeah, I wish Odyssey got DLC. I would have bought it like 3 times probably.
Had 48 DLC courses, and Mario Odyssey gets the Waluigi treatment, where a plant gets representation, but it doesn't. Cappy hasn't physically appeared in the game since 2018. I don't count Paulina's Odyssey representation because 1, she obviously debuted in Donkey Kong, but 2, her modern appearance actually dates all the way back to 2006 with March of the Minis, and she appeared in that series fairly regularly until Odyssey release. I actually repurposed this segment to a short later in the year because no one saw this video, but yeah, Pauline is Donkey Kong representation. People can say as much as they want. She's a Donkey Kong character before a Mario character, and she's not a Mario Odyssey character.
I mean, Mario is a spin-off of Donkey Kong.
Nintendo has been specifically neglecting to put any Mario Odyssey stuff into new games, which has just been now to me.
I thought you'd love that.
I said that's a good thing because I don't like the game. And in that
Because you're wrong.
story, I said, hey, there's not a lot of Mario Odyssey representation. People are like, yes, there is. They're like crying about it. I'm like, no, there isn't. Now, basically,
There should be more, because I do think school environments should be represented.
Okay, we don't need to add any more representation. There's already enough. But like, if you wanted more representation, put your feelings aside, recognize what I was actually saying, which is that there isn't a lot of representation for Odyssey, and be like, oh wait, there isn't a lot of representation. He's right. Even though I was kind of sort of hating in the video, it's just funny how people are so quick to jump to that game's defense that they do it to their own detriment. But Nintendo fans do things to their own detriment all the time, so that shouldn't be very surprising to anyone. appeared in that series fairly regularly until Odyssey release. Meanwhile, Aluma appeared in the Mario movie, despite the Cat Kingdom residents, whose names I won't even try to pronounce, could have easily taken their place. Nintendo hates
What,
this game.
Bonnetet? How is that hard to pronounce?
But those are just two approaches Nintendo could take to make Mario Kart Switch 2 stand out more. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this little
Oh yeah, they should make they should make Mario Kart stand out more by including environments from old games. That'll really help it stand out.
addendum. Comment below what you do to change up the visuals. But until next time, thank you so much for watching, and take care. I'll start Prestige here. I didn't know this video was already at 30 minutes, and I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but I want to go over the key points of the video and talk about them briefly. For one thing, I was absolutely right about the 2 and the Switch 2 being a sign that Nintendo was just trying to sell based on brand recognition instead of merit.
What's wrong with that? I genuinely don't see what's wrong with that.
I called their bluff on Mario Kart World being an overly derivative repeat of what came before that's completely failed to justify its own existence.
It's not. It's not. The open world has so much that
Even
game.
months after release, and my vertical slice reasoning held up perfectly. For anyone who decides they want any upcoming Nintendo games, do not expect anything more than what's explicitly shown in the trailer. I often see people expressing their disappointment when a game lacks content and they get met with tons of what did you expect replies. And that's because at one point you actually could expect more from a Nintendo game. The problem is that the era of underpromise and overdeliver is long behind us. 2D platformers just come with minigame collections, racing games just have story modes,
Right, we're back. Audio relay decided to disconnect again. Cool.
and adventure games used to have full-on pet simulators. People like
You know what? If they brought back the Child Garden, would I care? Maybe.
to parade around the idea of a focus game being a net good because a lot of developers focus on just one thing, but with the way games are made now, they don't even contain as much content as a side note in a less focused game, and it's just resulted in less value for the player overall. Nintendo's probably as litigious and spiteful as they've ever been.
Have you played? I haven't played Mario Tennis Fever, so I can't make a judgment on whether it lacks content or not. I mean, it shouldn't have been as expensive as it is, but it's what second-hand market for.
Between the Powerball lawsuits and console breaking, they're even going after the US government at this point. Their hubris is staggering.
Yeah, they should be going after the US government because I hate everything about the US government. And they should be going after them because of their dogshit tariffs.
At least my next point being that they burned so much of the goodwill they built during the Switch 1 era with a single price tag, and they definitely didn't expect it to snowball into a hate campaign for the entire AAA industry.
A hate campaign for the entire triple that existed before Nintendo. It's just a lot more of it is directed towards Nintendo now.
But they couldn't help but to twist the knife with their post-release updates, ruining a game that people spent anywhere between $500 and $530 on, $20 DLC for Donkey Kong Bonanza that everyone said was a complete scam, and $30 DLC for
Yeah, I mean, just don't buy it. Honestly, just don't buy it. I mean, the DLC is a bit expensive. Yeah, I don't like the prices, but you know, second-hand market, guys. You can probably find Mario Kart World for like 60 quid. You can probably find it at a normal price.
that everyone also said was a scam. Now, getting to the crux of the video was the bold claim that the Switch 2 will be a repeat of the Wii U, and while it's too soon to definitively claim that the console's flop, it's definitely showing Wii U-like symptoms. While Nintendo themselves
Really?
haven't had any permanent price drops, retailers have been struggling to move stock, so they've been selling Switch 2s at discounted prices.
No, they haven't. It's the fastest selling console in history.
Like with the Wii
Don't make me tap the sign again. Don't make me tap the sign again. The Switch 2 is not struggling.
U, they've had to make an active effort to try to increase software sales. So while they haven't given any games away for free, they're still releasing some of their games below even what the Switch 1 was offering to increase sales value. And if their numbers don't see a significant
Well,
increase,
so you want cheaper games, but then when they give you cheaper games, you get mad because they're below Switch 1. That's a good
you're
thing.
going to see them get more and more desperate. And I'll say this, while I appreciate the Switch 2 having games that are cheaper, doesn't that undermine the narrative of alleged higher production costs for games? But on the other hand, if you take them at their word and say that the price actually does reflect production costs, my next question is why are they investing less money into games on the newer console? And speaking of investing less money into games, welcome
Maybe
to
they're trying to sell for less because they're not that confident it'll sell too well, so they offer it at a low price and more people are going to buy it.
the literal opposite of what I suggested they do, and the resulting backlash is all the validation I needed for why
Yeah, well, welcome to... Yeah, that really should have been bundled in, but like... Mario Kart will give anyone plenty to do.
should have. But we at least got some pretty entertaining videos from it, so I'll take what I can get, I guess. Overall, I think this video is aged pretty well, considering how little we knew about the console at the time, and just the fact that so many practices I was condemning in this video are now widely known and looked down upon clearly indicates that the industry is in a much healthier place than it was before. And if you don't think so, then the $50 Game of the Year winner to live service Zero to Death True combo would beg to differ. Anyway, that's all from me. This video went on a little longer than I expected, but like always, if you enjoyed this
And
video,
so did mine.
be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and subscribe to the next post as soon as it goes live. Alright, take care.
Right. Like, the thing with these guys is that they say, like, they're like... They call out, like, so much stuff, and then they're right. But then, they also do, like... But then they also... Just, and then they say something dumb. And it becomes kind of disappointing. So, yeah. That was this video. You did not predict the Switch 2 struggling whatsoever. Maybe in the future I'll eat my words, but yeah, that's it. Goodbye.